8 months after he disappeared, this woman would find the body of her husband inside their house. I'm True Crime Caitlin, and this is the case of Richard Maedge. 56-year-old Richard and 50-year-old Jennifer had been married for 19 years. Richard was the epitome of a family man. He absolutely loved spending time with his family, including his 3 children and his 3 grandchildren. When he wasn't working, helping people with additional needs get training and job opportunities, he was at home relaxing, watching NASCAR, hockey or baseball. He was also lovingly given the name Mr. Fix-It because he was a handyman who could do everything. Throughout 2022, Richard had been dealing with a huge amount of stress related to other family issues, and he was very open to Jennifer about how he was feeling and how this stress was affecting him, how it was impacting his mental health, but Richard was always the type of person who was able to bring himself back out of that black hole and get himself back on his feet, seeking out help and support whenever he needed it. On the 26th of April 2022, Richard rang Jennifer while she was at work and told her that he wasn't really feeling that good, and so he was going to be heading back to their home in Troy, Illinois. A couple of hours later, when Jennifer returned back home, she would see her husband's truck parked on their driveway, and when she went into the house, she was expected to be greeted by him, but instead there was an eerie silence. She found his wallet and his car keys on the side, but Richard was nowhere to be seen. Despite this being a little bit strange, Jennifer just tried to brush it off, thinking that he must have wanted a little bit of fresh air, and took himself out for a quick walk. When Richard still hadn't returned home by the following afternoon, Jennifer could wait no more, and so she contacted the police to report her husband missing. When the officers arrived, they began, or at least they tried to start a search within the house. Richard was a man who didn't like to throw anything away. The police would describe the inside of the home as being like a hoarder home. There was stuff and rubbish piled and scattered everywhere. While conducting their search, they would get a very distinct smell, which they thought was sewage. They couldn't find exactly where this smell was coming from, and when they couldn't find the source of it, they just put it down to all of the rubbish being in the house. They found absolutely no sign of Richard on this search or any of the other searches that they conducted. Over the next few weeks, Jennifer would do her own digging. She combed through paperwork and diaries to see if there was any hint on where Richard could have gone, if he had written something down somewhere. They put up missing person posters, police followed up on any and all tips that they were given, hoping that one of them would help them track Richard down, but to no avail. It was like he had completely disappeared. Soon the neighbours and even the postman began complaining of a really foul smell that was radiating from the Maedge's home. Because the police initially thought that it was sewage, they got a sewer pipe replaced by a plumber, but even that didn't help. Jennifer would say that she didn't find the smell overwhelming, but her neighbours and the postman both thought that it was. 8 months after the disappearance of Richard Maedge, on the 11th of December 2022, in a bid to try and raise her spirits a little bit, Jennifer decided that she was going to decorate for Christmas. She was ready to prepare for her first Christmas without her husband. She went into a cupboard underneath their stairs looking for a big bag that had all of their Christmas ornaments in, and that is when she discovered the mummified remains of Richard Maedge, who had very clearly taken his own life. Police were called and Richard's body was taken for autopsy, where no sign of foul play was discovered. The family of Richard felt absolutely furious because for 8 months they had no idea where their loved one was, what had happened to him, what was going on, if he was dead or if he was alive, and that entire time he was under the stairs. How was he never discovered during any of the police searches? The cupboard underneath the stairs was only accessible by going through one door and then through into another, and it was very clearly missed by the police each and every single time.